What's going on, everybody? So I'm gonna do a mail day today. I wanted to kind of step away from box breaks and try and do other things aside from box breaks. I think everybody always does box breaks. It's cool to do them. Um, as you probably know, as someone who's probably interested in Magic, box breaks are extremely expensive. Breaking a box on YouTube usually does not net you anywhere near the return, especially if you're not an earned partner. It nets you zero. So, as much as I'd like to do those every day, it's just not plausible. I will be doing a larger break here soon, but outside of that, there's been a lot of new subscribers from my last video. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the comments. I know it was a bit contentious as some bigger YouTubers decided to comment on it and make an entire video as well on it. They stopped by my Whatnot stream, and it was pretty overwhelming support. A lot of people came from that video and showed up to the stream, said hi, what's up, subscribe to me, provide comments down below. So, a bit overwhelming. I really appreciate it, and thank you everybody for tuning into that and watching. I do have some thoughts on that. I may or may not make a video on it. It really just depends. I have been extremely swamped over the last few days with the Duskmorn release, but finally getting a chance to sit down here and go through some mail. A couple, so just a quick thing. This was, I got this on Whatnot from actually Death Baron TCGs. Astarion's Thirst, Secret Lair. This is the non-foil and a Double Masters pack here. I did not get to get this Astarion's Thirst Secret Lair, so a little bit of background. It's because I actually thought that this was going to be the first Secret Lair that Wizards would move back to a essentially print to demand um, style for the secret layers, where it wasn't going to be a limited print run and you could log on at any time. I was up during the time. I've never had an issue getting secret layers when they were limited, as long as I logged in as soon as the sale started. But again, I logged in kind of late for this, so I missed the Astarion's Thirst. That was my bad. Had to pick it up. And actually, Death Baron gifted this to me in the end. And so I know these are going for quite a bit on the secondary market. Really cool that it has Exquisite Blood. We'll see what the secret card is out of there. Picked up some, so these are all going to be singles here for a new deck which I'm building, which is actually Eulage. If you guys aren't familiar with Eulage, it is the creature from the sea creature from Bloomburrow, which every time you attack or ETBs, you put a flood counter on a land and it makes your instant or sorcery or your next one for that turn costs one less. So gonna go ahead and open these up. I covered up anything that provides personal information of either me or the seller, just for both of their protection, me and them. So this, I believe, I grabbed this on Whatnot from a really, really cool seller on there. You guys should check them out for singles. Their name, their username on Whatnot is actually MTG Plug. The reason I like to buy singles from them is, so unlike TCG Player, you do get to see the singles in person. They can show you all angles of it. It's live on video, and you can see. And I especially like going to them for things like reserve lists. So this is a reserve list card, a little bit off center. It is a time spiral. Gave me a deal on this. They did this for 90. Typically they go for 100. And this is again going into Eulage, but let's pull it out. I thought I had owned the time spiral, but I actually did not. So here it is. I always, no matter who the seller is, I always loop my cards just to be safe. But very, very beautiful copy there, as you can see. Very little wear. Definitely did see some slight play, but overall, very, very clean copy of the card. And if you guys aren't familiar with how to check a card, you just go ahead, and this is a $10 loop off of Amazon. You just go ahead, and the best way to do this is always check the green dot, and you can almost always verify right away from that. And this is good. If you're not familiar with what you're looking for on the green dot, you definitely want to watch some YouTube videos on that. I don't know if it's worth making a video. If you guys are interested in a video on how to verify cards as far as weight and all the other things that can go into it, let me know and I can also do that. So this is going into Eulage. This is probably one of the most expensive pieces I'm putting into him. Other than a Crypt, which I'm actually just going to proxy the Mana Crypt in that deck. It is going to be a competitive deck. I have quite a few Mana Crypts and I just don't feel like I need to be buying another Mana Crypt. Up to 14 commander decks. Never did I ever think I would get to that point. Grab this one on TCG Player. This is just a Chain of Vapor for the deck as well. I will check this a little bit later. This one's not as important to check on the lower end cards. I tend to do that on the back end. I don't want to bore you guys with checking every single card here. I picked up that Chain of Vapor for, I don't recall, because it actually did not include a slip from TCG Player. Next card here. So we have a Archmage Emeritus for $2.35. This is a near mint foil from Strixhaven. So this reads, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So this is really good. I run Sword of Wealth and Power in the deck as well, so I'd be copying a spell and casting it, so potentially two draws. Obviously, with Eulage being mainly, you're running like 30 to 35 sorceries and instants in the deck. This is going to be triggering like crazy. I was running Wavebreak Hippocamp. I need to find the slot for him. I may take that out. If you guys aren't familiar with Wavebreak, it's every time you cast a spell on your opponent's turn. So that is going into the Eulage deck. It's a little bit of tech for that. And then this was my larger order. This was done from TCG Player. I will say this is definitely interesting. This was a $85 order. First time I've had an $85 order shipped in a plain white envelope. I think this guy's a newer seller. Regardless, though, he did stick everything into this thicker top loader, so it is protected. Total order was 4 cards, but it was a little bit of a more pricey order. I went with the seller because he did have a more steep. He had like a $3.99 shipping, but he had a lot of the cards I needed for the deck. So because of that, it ended up being much cheaper. So kind of take that with a grain of salt when I say these prices here, because I think they're a bit under market actually. When you don't factor the shipping. So picked up a Ristic Study from Jumpstart for 35 bucks. That was actually the cheapest copy of Ristic Study on TCG Player at the time. Picked up a Mana Drain for 26. Those are still down quite a bit from, I remember before the Double Masters printing. I thought it would have recovered a little bit more than in comparison. Ristic Study holding strong, surprisingly, for the number of reprints it's gotten. I picked up a Temporal Manipulation. That one was the Secret Lair series drop for that one, and then a Magic Buy a Box promo, Nexus of Fate. So extra turns is basically the go-to for that Eulage deck that I built. I think people sometimes build it as more control and try to get through with commander damage. It's still a work in progress. I will go over that deck once I feel it is decent enough to go over. But as for now, I think it's still a jumbled mess. So here are those cards. We have our Ristic Study. We have the Mana Drain from Commander Legends. Then the Temporal Manipulation. This is the one from the, if you're not familiar, this is from the Frazetta Secret Lair. And I remember grabbing quite a few of these Frazetta Secret Lairs because I absolutely love the Dark Ritual art in there. And that Dark Rit art is insanely expensive now. I cannot believe that that's a $100 card out of the lair on its own. This one not holding as much value, though people are, it's very polarizing art for people. And then here we have the buy box promo Nexus of Fate in foil. And we'll see how good this... so he is very fair with this grading. This is definitely a very near mint copy, although there is a very, very slight indentation in the card. You probably see it picking up there on the corner there in the camera. I always just like to check the card. I don't think that's big enough of a deal for me to go back to the seller. If it was like a reserve list card or something, maybe I might make a... shoot them a message. But for something that's just going into one of my regular decks and it's not something I plan to hold long term, I don't really mind. I think some people, though, from my experience as a seller on TCG Player, would definitely have an issue with that. So there's that. Those are those cards there. From TCG Player. Those are all, like I said, these are pieces to my Eulage deck. Once that's complete, I'll go ahead and make a video on that. I'm also going to cover a video of my most expensive deck if you guys are interested in that and want to see it. Let me know in the comments down below. And I guess this is my chance to plug myself, but I do have a link down below for $15 credit on Whatnot if you use it. If you're not on there, a lot of cool sellers on there, a lot of cool LGSs. So you can check them out through that link, get free $15 credit, and you can use that to get a free pack of something if you want, if it's 15 or less, or you can use it to get maybe a $10 collector pack, or maybe even like a $7 new Duskmourn pack. So without any further ado, let's go into the packs here, and we'll finish off with the Secret Lair. So this is a Double Masters pack I grabbed off of Death Baron. We'll see what we get. Grand Arbiter Augustine, which has been actually climbing. I thought this card would never, ever recover from its low. But there's our first foil. So cool seeing a rare foil in the first slot. And then we're getting a common foil, Experiment 1. Then we're getting a mythic. This, I think, is Aminatu. Yeah, Aminatu, the Fate Shifter. And then getting a second mythic, with an Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. This was a crazy pack for a double masters pack. Very happy with that. Definitely going into the binder. Although Ulamog, gosh, I can't remember if I have or if I need this one or not. I did build an Aslask deck, which I'll go over maybe in another video. So there's that. We have Dragon Arch, Bloodbraid Elf, Bloodwater Entity, Knightly Valor, Aven Initiate, Severed Strands, Augur Spree, Monastery Suspiria, Grapple with the Past, and a Deep Analysis. So great pack of double masters there. Very happy with those hits. Double mythic with a foil rare out of the double masters. Definitely cool seeing that. So here we go into the secret lair. Very excited to get this secret lair. I absolutely love the art in it. I was a bit bummed that I had missed out on the initial drop though. So that being said, let's see what we get out of here. And if you didn't see, this is the new insert they're putting in there. These are good for if you are someone who sells. These are good for backing, like say a bubble mailer, and you're shipping something and you want to be a bit more rigid. Always nice to hold on to these. Here we go. So we are going to go through the layer. I know a lot of you know what's in here, but for those who don't, I'm just going to go through it card by card. So we have Astarion the Decadent, and then we have Exquisite Blood in that art right there. Very cool. Probably this is the big card out of the layer itself. We have Sanguine Bond. Now this card, obviously not a ton of value, but I think this art is going to be sought after from the layer. Kind of similar to the Dark Rit. Obviously Dark Rituals don't hold a lot of value, but certain versions of it. Anguished Unmaking, really good removal there for Orzhov. And then we have a Mortify, which I don't think obviously is probably the card that's probably the least wanted out of the deck, but out of the secret lair. And then our secret card is going to be a 2/3 Druid of Purification. There is the secret back card. And if you're not aware, the secret card that can actually come out of these layers is the biggest hit being the Minsk and Boon. I think it can come out of any of the layers from the drop, but very happy with those cards there. I'll take another Druid of Purification. Don't mind that at all. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, dislike. Let me know down below what I can do to help improve the videos, as I'm always looking to help improve them. Check us out on Whatnot with that link down below. And I appreciate you watching all the way through, and catch you all in the next one.